Toby. Hey, Toby. Where are you going? Toby, say hi. Say hi. Sit down. Toby, sit. Can you sit? Will you sit? Toby, sit. He won't sit when we're walking. It's too vulnerable, right, Toby? Gonna be real tough to capture his face. There, Toby. Where are you going? Where are you let's do a stand-up one. Let's do a straight up and down one. I walked my daughter to school this morning. It's second to last day of school, first grade. And she always asks me if, you know, the classic question, if God made everything, then who made God? And it's an easier pill to swallow when you're older and you've done some research and you can understand like dimensions and stuff. But what I've always told her is, and most people already know this, but I'm just going to share it just in case you don't. The book, Flatline, it's an awesome book. It explains this answer very easily. You put a dot on a page, that's dimension 1. You draw a square, that's dimension 2. You draw a cube, that's dimension 3. Then you pull the cube out of the paper into like a real box, or fold the piece of paper into a real cube. That's dimension 4, and then it moves in space-time. So if your mind can conceive that, can't you understand that then there's a dimension 5 and a dimension 6 and a dimension 7? We can at least assume that there could be one, because there's more than one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There could be. And but you can't understand that. You can see the lower parts really easily, but the lower parts can't look up. To the dot, the square looks like a line. And to the square, the cube looks like a square. It only sees the square. So when Paul talks about being lifted up into heaven, and he said, I saw things that a human cannot even, or not permitted to say. That permission is easily, not just like a legal term, but a dimensional term. You can't, you're not permitted. We don't have the brain power to understand it. You can't speak it. You try to tell a square what a cube looks like, you can only see a square. So, all right, so long story short, that's an awesome, you got to explore Flatline. Where you tell a child, creation only exists in the way you're asking inside the universe. But if you go outside the universe, God is outside of time, right? A child is thinking a starting point and array. It's easy for a human to think of eternity, but we can't think about eternity past. We don't understand that because we are not that. We are a created creature. So eternity past and eternity future we understand, right? That's because we are eternal. But we had a starting point. It's called array. And so you tell the child, right, God is outside of time. And then you draw them the 1, 2, 3, and all that. Okay, so angels, 5, 6, these are all the other dimensions. Then I was thinking just here on my own about it. And I have another cool example of like God and predeterminism and how God can do it all, how he sees it all. If you've ever edited video and put video clips on a timeline in a computer program, You can put, let's say you lay down a bunch of different video files in a timeline and you press play and it plays it out. Well, you can squeeze the timeline down, pull it way out. You can look at it and see the entire timeline. But the video person in the video only can play it once it goes. It goes from left to right, 0 to 1 to 1 to 2 seconds. It's like, okay, that's easy to understand, but there's even more. Because someone could say, if that's the case, then a Calvinist would say, like, well, it's all predetermined. God predetermined everybody's actions and everybody's fate is sealed. How is there free will if it's laid out in a track like that? Well, if you look at non-linear editing, you can cut chunks of the video out, pull it out completely, piece them back together, play it. You can take something and one happened yesterday, move it forward, and make it look like it happens tomorrow. You can move pieces, and the free will is the cut, edit, move of all the pieces of video that we're living in all day on different tracks, man. So it's not that inconceivable for there to be a God the Father who knows all things, sees all things, allows free will, and can interject and change the course of time and history at will. If it's as easy as we can do it on video, think of, it's not inconceivable clearly you wouldn't put the iocane powder in front of me, and you were strong, so you beat my giant, which means you're a man of strength, and you would put the iocane powder in front of you. You're stalling. Not remotely. If anybody knows that, let me know. So it's not inconceivable for God to be able to do and know all things and also have free will. Oh, that was fun. Check you later.